Dubai, a city built on oil, known for flashy displays of wealth, consumerism and excess. It's not somewhere you might expect to find innovative climate solutions. But look a little deeper, or higher.
Oh, look at that. This is amazing.
It is, huh?
Laurent Longuet used to work for the oil company Total before founding Siraj Power, the Gulf's leading supplier of solar on rooftops.
There are a lot of friends working in the nuclear or etc. They were making fun about solar, you know.
Oh, really?
But after 10 years, a lot of them, they now work in solar or wind or etc.
Now you're laughing.
Beneath these panels is King's School Al Barsha, home to thousands of students aged 3 to 18 from all over the world. It's also now a 2-megawatt power station.
Over a full year, it's more than half of the energy of the school, which is coming from the roof. But on a certain day, we produce more than what they need. So we are even in a position where we export some electricity back to the networks.
Buildings in the UAE use masses of energy for air conditioning, taking nearly 3/4 of all the electricity. It's a perfect match for solar, giving power in the daytime when it's needed most.
It's by far the cheapest way to produce electricity. So there is
Even here, it's cheaper than oil and gas.
Yeah, it's much cheaper to produce
Really?
Electricity from solar than to produce it from coal, from gas, from whatever. Much cheaper. I'm not saying 10 or 20%. It's 50% less.
Even here, you think the future's electric?
It is. Definitely, there is no question about it.
So you think that you used to be a lot more...
And for students here, this transition is a necessary step.
Dubai is one of the biggest carbon polluters. We export so much oil, and I think that living in a country like this, like the UAE, it is our responsibility to use our voices and use our platforms to make the changes that we are partially responsible for.
I think it's really important to consider youth in the actions, and if we're not considered, how can we be expected to carry on these decisions to the future? Because the youth are the ones that are going to be experiencing the long-term effects of our ancestors' actions.
The desert is clearly good for solar energy, but a hostile environment for another green favourite, local food.
This is the Al Oasis, and for thousands of years, farmers have used the natural water here, channeling it through these ducts to grow fruit like dates and figs. But what's brought me here is a much more high-tech oasis. I've been to a few greenhouses in my time, but this has got to be one of the biggest and most high-tech I've ever seen.
This is the UAE's first commercial-scale smart farm, capable of producing fruit and vegetables all year round, even when the temperature outside hits 50 degrees.
This is the most sophisticated greenhouse I've ever worked in.
And what is it that makes it so?
Now, we are extremely in control here. Despite the harsh conditions outside, we can create an environment where the plants will flourish. And we can control a climate whereby there is an optimum transfer of sunlight into food.
The UAE imports up to 90% of its food, so solutions like this are important for food security, but also greener than flying in fresh food, though the farm currently still uses peat.
Oh, impressive. How important do you think it is to grow food locally?
You don't want to put your tomatoes in an airplane from Europe to here. So from that perspective, for the planet, this is a better solution.
But despite being so reliant on imports, the Emirates have a massive food waste issue.
Anything you can find in your kitchen, you've probably got it in here. From your basmati rice to your sodas, your cooking oil, more soda, milk, you name it.
And all of this you can recycle?
Absolutely, A to Z.
Even the chips?
Even the chips. Want some?
Not now, thank you.
All of these are recycled along with tons of fresh food. If sent to landfill, much of this would rot and emit methane, a powerful greenhouse gas, along with risking the contamination of groundwater. Much better to make new materials and fresh compost.
There's over $1.6 billion of food that is wasted annually.
And that's in
the UAE alone.
In the UAE alone.
Yeah.
It's quite a luxurious society, which means it's quite a wasteful society here.
Yes, that's the truth. Overconsumption, overproduction as a result. That's the issue today with the society that we live in overall.
How much are you growing?
Oh, I mean, let's put it this way. We are desperate to get out of this place and triple the size that we have today. We're growing every year 5 to 7 times of our current capacity. Don't get me wrong, we're not Mother Teresa, okay? We're trying to be a force for good for the environment, while at the same time being a force for business growth and profits.
All these companies feel a real change happening here. The Emirates going from laggards to major players in green tech. But the country is still making billions extracting and exporting fossil fuels, with plans to pump much more. At least now, it's not the only game in town. Tom Heap, Sky News, in Dubai.